Hey folks, I'm MysteriousJG, and welcome back to Let's Play Tales of Vesperia. I came to check on the Judith costume, and it's looking to me like we just got the Judith costume. So you talk to this little kid, and he says, "Oh, Mercy, you came, except I had a different voice before." "Oh, Miss, you came." So yeah, even though I wasted I get wasted in quotes, a limit bottle with Estelle, we'll just go ahead and keep this save, because screw it. And we'll try to get Estelle to just heal a lot during the post-game dungeon and hopefully put us over the top for getting her costume. And that will be pretty darn close to us getting all the costumes we can get, I believe.
How have you been doing? Good, I've been watching all of the great things you've been doing from up here in the sky.
Can you really see all that from up here?
Christians do have better sight than humans, but...
I still think that'd be impossible.
Actually, I was using this. My imagination. Does that magnify the image of whatever it's pointed at? Is that a trap from Deception 4? The Nightmare Princess? The magnifying glass? Blastia? No, I get the feeling it's somehow different, because we destroyed all the Blastia, except that hasn't happened yet. They say that someone named Hermes made it long, long time ago. But I don't know how it works.
Maybe he talked like Dougal. Did he make him talk like Dougal?
That's pretty cool, but to being able to see things so far away...
Yeah. Make some lame, unfunny comment about how you'd look at naked girls in that moment. No, he didn't. What do you know? Yeah, I love watching balls fly all over the world.
It's Ba'u.
Hey, miss, you were knocking a bunch of monsters into the sky, weren't you?
Wow, you could see even that.
Yeah, it was so cool. I even counted how many there were. You counted? Yeah, you know, those monsters that you hit up into the air and then they disappeared. Poof. Sounds like he's talking about fatal strikes. I counted more than 1,000 of them. You guys are awesome.
You're pretty awesome yourself for counting all those.
Aww. It was so fun watching. I want to give you something to show you how much I liked it. That's very thoughtful of you. I made this. It's for you.
Thank you.
Can you try it on? I think it would look real sexy. Alright, just a minute. And there you go. What do you think? I mean, what do you think?
It looks great on you, Judith.
Wow, it doesn't look handmade at all. Hey, I thought you'd like it. I actually wanted to give it to you after I counted 300 monsters, but it wasn't ready yet.
I'll take good care of it, thank you.
Judith earned the Into the Sky title. So there you are. And wherever you go, there you are.
Do you think you can let seed balls?
No, we're not doing that. Oh, anyways. Nope, sorry kid, thanks for the outfit, but you do not get... What the heck? Showing some butt there. I mean, she's wearing pants now, but still. Who are you?
I'm scared, whatever.
Okay. Yeah, Judith clearly meant to be the Sexay character, but, and you know, maybe it's just me, but it's just black pants, but I just was immediately struck with the possibility that she's wearing skin-tight black leather pants, or pleather, some kind of, you know, leathery looking stuff. Yeah, it's me. I need to just get a hold on myself, and not there. Never mind, I just thought what that could mean, too.
Dirty.
Well, there you go, folks. So, I didn't think we'd get that one. Oh, I'm so happy. No, we got Judith's funky costume for getting like 1 billion fatal strikes. We got Rita's costume for doing like 1 billion damage. That's the power of off-screening right there. Just, I'm way stronger than I needed to be to win this game, it would appear. My characters, that is. Me personally, never really got that good at the game. At least I didn't feel like it. So, I guess what we'll do is we'll trigger the post-game dungeon, and fighting through that, hopefully we'll get Estelle enough healing for us to get the medic costume that she needs to get. Either that, or if not, I'll check a fac and make sure that we didn't skip some step there. But yeah, I feel like of the 3 costumes I knew of that we were still missing, that I thought was going to be the easiest of the 3 to get, and Estelle's one is the only one we haven't got yet, so there you go. Alright, so we have to go to Pharaoh's Crag. That is the first step in this process, and in fact, sorry, there is a more... That is the efficient way to get to Pharaoh's Crag, is over here. I was already heading the right way, and I almost turned it around. Go to Pharaoh's Crag, and you remember there'd been this... I don't know what this has to do with anything, but there'd been this warp to the Jormungand of the past. And now, like, sexy pirate Judith is going to help us find it. And there's people here. Wasn't it just, like, empty except for the sage before?
Why are you people about us to clear Zeo Crystal? We'll be safe from any monster.
You're friends of the sage. I didn't know. I was wondering why you'd come to this tiny rural town. Interesting. She's here to tell us about synthesizing. Don't care. But she is up to date on the fanciest things we can be synthesizing. You look at souvenirs, you can find them here. And this shop just kind of sells pretty basic stuff. Nothing real exciting. Anything we buy here and bring back with us, we'll of course be transporting from a weird dream world to reality, so that's a bit weird anyway. Don't feel like we need to spend the night, but...
You're all wearing such unusual clothes. Especially you. Did you do like 1,000 fatal strikes and 300 blue fatal strikes or something?
This is a good damn thing you didn't have to do all those fatal strikes with Judith. It's implied that that's what the kid's rewarding, but... Now you were a plot character. You even had the voice of Sasami.
Even now I can see Long Chi smile. I wonder when he will come home.
He's never coming home. I'm sorry. But... I don't know if you people really exist. This is another one of those parts of the game that was just weird and didn't really connect that well to anything else. And this guy, like the last time we talked to him, it was kind of creepy. Like I was wondering if he was going to be a dark figure. Who are you, travelers, perhaps? Haven't we already met? Huh? Looks like he's forgotten. He joined the Foreign Legion to forget. To forget what? I do not know. I have forgotten.
You didn't forget. It's more like we're back in the past now.
Back to back. Back in the past. Back to back.
Yes, the town's supposed to loot people now, too.
Yeah, so this, like, weird simulacrum of the town as it was has gotten stronger. Stronger and stronger. What are you whispering about over there? Ah, perhaps you would like to hear an interesting story.
I don't have the time to listen to any more epic sagas, Gramps. What a bitch. Seriously.
No, it'll be quite short, I assure you. Alright then, lay it on us. Well, a little while ago I was putting my library in order, you see. And then out from the stacks of books. And this time, a little mouse came out.
I cannot believe this. He's been talking for 2 hours now.
Yeah, I don't know what he said in the last 2 hours, but somehow he was looking into a stack of books and a mouse came out. There was a 2-hour pause between those two things that would seem to be directly related, but... Or perhaps you could get to the point of the story? What do you mean? This part is very important and interesting, too.
Come on, get to the good stuff.
Oh, alright. So ultimately I found a certain book in the stacks. It was a book about mice. And in this book the following was written. He who reads these words of witness, deep beneath a steep and winding mountain range on the 6th continent of Yorzoria. I'm sure they've said that out loud during the game with voice acting, but I forget how to pronounce it. Slumbers a man who transcends time. When the Maiden of Beauty sets out on a journey, she will come down to the 4th dimension, keeping watch over a fiery youth. Receiving the love of heaven, she will descend into a human body and will revolt against the heavens. I think this is referring to past Tales games. I don't know, and just throwing it out there. Explain it in the comments if that is your want. But I don't really care. You explain it, I'll probably take a minute to read it, but I don't really care. Just saying. Hey, pretty interesting, don't you think? Is it?
What mysterious proclamations? It's very interesting indeed.
And then she slaps Yuri. Would you like to read more? I can give it to you if you'd like.
You don't mind? If we take it out of your dream dimension into our dimension?
No, not at all. I've already memorized the whole book anyway.
Thank you very much. You are so stupid. Thank you very much.
You sure like books. You sure do like books, Estelle. Do you put out with books? Because don't put out with me. Obtained Legend of the Dark Blue Warrior. Oh, good thing it's not Legend of the Purple Helmeted Warrior. Because I refuse to let go of that concept. It's all about sex right now. I don't know why. Are you going to stay tonight? I still haven't told you the one about the mysterious white watermelon. What, you're busy? Oh, well. They also have another story about a mysterious white snake. A snake that had 2 mysterious white melons that it carried at the base of its body. I'm talking about penises, folks. That's me, the sage of Jormungand, who's all weird. It's not JG at all. He's totally not being a freak right now. Alright, so anyway. So, confession to make, I also, after I won the game off screen, I just went far enough to actually peek at the post-game dungeon. And yeah, this will come together to make sense at some point. And I'm thinking that you can't get the post-game dungeon until you do this, because this event is necessary to trigger the post-game dungeon. It doesn't really ever come together and make sense in my mind, but this won't trigger unless you do the post-game dungeon. I mean, unless you win the game. That little dialogue there. What did it have to do with winning the game? Nothing, really. Again, it's just a little thing where they're like, hey, here's a cool idea for something we could do. We can't really make it fit into the story, but you know what? Who cares? Again, and I don't know, if you're playing this game without a FAQ, how would you ever find the post-game dungeon? Sorry, I was talking. What would possess you to go talk to the sage at Jormungand again after winning the game? Like, I can think of very few more obscure locations in the game to go and talk to somebody than that place. I went back to the Imperial capital Zaphius after getting the Aquablastia working, and it's kind of a running gag now that I've got with Zerfall. That what a waste of time, because it was a pain in the ass to do before you have an airship. But I mean, there was a logic to that. But in this case, like, why would you go back to the Illusion of Jormungand? Other than the fact that it never enters into the plot, so maybe there's some... If you ever noticed it was even there, and Draki kept mentioning, visit it now, don't go too much farther in the game without visiting Pharaoh's Crag, because you'll miss the chance to do this and wreck the post-game dungeon. The post-game dungeon appears to be one of the easiest things to accidentally kind of blow up so that it doesn't appear in-game. Yeah, I'm throwing up my hands now. You can't see it. It's like, it would be so difficult to find without a FAQ. I guess this game had a Brady Games guide or something, but that's just the thing. I don't know. I'm old school enough that I feel like you should be able to, maybe with some difficulty, maybe it requires you to play through multiple times, but you should be able to find everything on your own without a FAQ. Or at least if there's things you can't find on your own without a FAQ, they should be small things, not an entire dungeon. Whatever. Just shut up, get on with it. So when I paused, there was like an earthquake striking Doggrass. Whoa, what was that? I think it came from the west. Why do I talk like this? I'm a woman. Well, that sounded a little different from an earthquake. I have so much experience of earthquakes, I know the subtleties of how they sound.
Yes, it felt like there may have been a landslide.
That'd be one doozy of a landslide.
Let's go have a look. Got nothing else to do. You know what, why don't I give everybody else goofy costumes? It's time for goofy costumes. Oh, man. Into the Sky or, Enchanting Beauty. We'll go with Into the Sky. If we're keeping you in goofy-ass costumes, everyone else should get a chance, too. You're not even going to be in combat, so who cares, but...
The Twilight Dreamer, Montreal.
I don't know why I'm wasting time figuring out costumes for everybody now, but I never liked that one. I don't know why. Yeah, I'll go with that one for a while. And Repeat never really gets alternate costumes. You know what? I don't care for that one. Dark Enforcer. Better yet, Tank Top look. No, Dark Enforcer. We'll go with Dark Enforcer. It makes him look a lot more badass. And this is just beyond stupid. So is this one. Oh, that's not his worst. His worst is probably the one he got for, Oh, that's right. One other thing we forgot to do is go buy the, like earlier in the game, we could get Sexay costumes for, Carol, Estelle, or, but I don't care anymore. But yeah, that was something Dracky pointed out. At this point in the game, you can go get the Sexay costumes for the characters you didn't get Sexay costumes before. But no, I don't care. Maybe we'll go check it out between the post-game Super Dungeon and the 100-man melee, but I'm not feeling it right now. For whatever reason, just not feeling it. So now this was a bit tricky. You're supposed to fly west. And again, it's like, it would be so easy to miss this. The dialogue says, that seemed like it came from the west. So you're supposed to just kind of fly around here, and eventually you'll hit the sweet spot that summons this thing. I don't know how you'd know exactly where it is. But I'm pretty sure it wasn't directly west from Dawngrest. You just kind of have to fly around until it pops. And once you find it, it'll be marked on your map. There we go. Hold on one second, folks. I feel like the landscape here is a little strange. Isn't it weird that this whole area only had that one spa town and nothing else to do? It seems like a lot of empty space for this game.
Yes, wasn't this area supposed to be a mountain range?
It seems like that rumble we heard back in Dawngrest came from here.
You saying an entire mountain collapsed here? That's a pretty big cave.
Deep beneath a steep and winding mountain range on the sixth continent of Eorzea, slumbers a man who transcends time.
Yeah, so that's why we had to go talk to that old guy.
Oh, wasn't that what was written in that book you got back in Jormungand?
See, the earthquake that caused this, like, that drew this connection in Estelle's mind doesn't happen unless she reads the book. So don't read books, folks. You'll cause earthquakes.
Yes.
It might have been something to do with this. Let's go down and have a look.
And now, if you land, there is a thing to look at. We'll save our game before we go in there, because this would be the entrance to the post-game Super Dungeon. And there's a bunch of stupid-ass regular enemies that are going to be in our way here. Oh, and I need to check and see how much time we spent on this video, because I got distracted and did some stuff I didn't intend to do before. It's time for us to start. We can start this dungeon and probably not finish. Obviously, well, no, we're not even close to finishing this video. But let's see, ultimate scary villain voice. I didn't do. I should have, but did not think to save. My Alan Rickman voice for this, because I gave an Alan Rickman voice to a previous character in this video. I suppose I could always bring it back, but I'll make him talk like Duke. Woe be to the not that Duke. The voice that I gave Duke in the end of Paladin's Quest. Woe be to those who would dare come any further. Hee hee hee. And yeah, I did this earlier. Plug in Lufia 2. Rises and Strolls. If you enjoyed this LP and you're sad that it's over, I love when people go back and watch my old LPs and comment on them, because it reminds me of fun LPs past. So, Paladin's Quest and Lennis 2 Particularly Atlantis 2, which nobody watched. Yeah, you can check those out. It's more of the same, just me being goofy and voice acting.
Woe be to those who would dare come any further. He, he, he.
Plus, they're both way shorter than this LP was. What?
Gives you the heebie-jeebies, doesn't it?
If you're going to comment on those LPs, please use timestamps, because I'm not going to watch entire videos to see what you're talking about.
Come out and show yourself.
There's a guy who's watching all the way through Tecmo Secret of the Stars, and he would keep commenting on very specific things I said and like disagreeing with them or agreeing with them, but he wouldn't timestamp it. And I'm like, I'm not watching an entire 15-minute video just to see what you're nitpicking that I said, because I probably still think I was right. Duh. Now back to Tales of Vesperia, the game I'm actually LPing right now.
Sounds like someone gets off on threatening people. Time for a beatdown.
Cute goat girl.
But it doesn't seem like there's anyone here at all. What do you mean, Estelle? I'm sure he's just really good at hiding. Yeah, that's it. If someone tells you not to keep going, isn't it a pretty normal response to, keep going?
There might be something to be said for listening to a warning, though. Once you proceed, you can never return. Know this before you contemplate going any further.
Seems to me like it would be a wise idea not to proceed.
So, I guess we should stop, right? I mean, there's nothing here anyway, right, guys?
Yes, let's keep going. Let's look around a little more.
Erg.
This is your final warning. Once you proceed, you cannot go back. Have you made up your mind?
Yeah, sure. Yes, of course. Let me pass, please.
Then pass. You're about to enter an infinite and merciless labyrinth from which you can never return, where hopeless confusion awaits you.
Oh, well, never mind. You didn't say that. Never mind.
Hee, sounds like this could be fun.
Yeah, it sounds like a blast.
Oh, don't I know this place?
This is Appius. Why?
Is this Appius?
Haha, I don't know how they're doing this, but I get the idea.
What idea?
This is some sort of illusion, yeah? Let's have as much fun here as possible.
It's some sort of illusion.
Can we have fun in a place like this?
The monsters that will attack you here cannot be easily conquered. Take care in battle.
Oh, that's very useful to know. Thank you. You're very thoughtful.
We don't need you to tell us to be careful. Let's go. Ikuzo-mamaza, huh?
It feels like we've been all over the entire world.
Oh, and there'll be this weird, goofy echo effect for any dialogue here. There's echoey effect, sound effects for your footfalls and for your combat sounds. And since we just triggered this scene, because this is the last physical location in the game we hadn't visited yet, now we have a perfectly innocent little story side dialogue, which would sound normal if we triggered it anywhere else. It's going to sound all ghostly and weird because we did it here.
I'd read about some of the places in books, but we've gone to lots of places I'd never heard of.
There's no books about Fresno.
The youthfulness, the sweet naivete.
What? Are you too old and withered to appreciate anything anymore?
Yes, I mean, no.
Terrible. I am as innocent and pure as a newborn babe.
Judy, you've been around the world on
A horn dog, newborn baby.
Did you know most of the places we went?
No, not at all. There are a lot of places I've never seen before.
I've only gone to places with casinos, which I then destroyed.
To join Brave Vesperia? Look how far we've come.
Yeah, it's
I feel
true.
like I really have a sense of how big the world is now. It wasn't that
We've
long
circumnavigated it several
ago.
times
See?
over with our
Don't be
dragon.
getting all cocky, Carol. It's not like you had anything to do with it.
Jesus, Rita.
You know how I feel, kid. Come to old Raven's arms.
Oh.
Misery loves company.
But anyway, so, yeah, we are in the Labyrinth of Memories. And it is a special dungeon. I have the Labyrinth of Memories map open, but I don't really know that it's going to be that useful to me, at least not the first time through. Because the Labyrinth of Memories works where there will be rooms with two separate exits, there will be rooms with only one exit, there will be rooms with multiple exits. All paths ultimately lead to the same couple of places, but as will be explained a little bit later, well, you know what, I won't bother to explain it because it's going to be explained on its own later. Yeah, there's one like final exit from which you can win the quote Labyrinth of Memories and be done. I'm pretty sure once you win it forever, you can't return. There are some places from which you get to escape without winning, and you're forced to start over the next time you go in. But obviously, gold items and stuff that you grind while you're in there, you get to keep. I shouldn't say obviously. That could be how it works. It could be like the treasure cave in Lufia 2, but it's not. You can't exit at will, but there are certain points. Well, I should say there's like really only one point. There's 2 points. There's 2 rooms, but they're kind of on divergent paths. You can exit if you get to a certain point prematurely, or you can go all the way through the end and exit when you beat the final boss of the place. Or you can get to the end, not get to fight the final boss because you didn't meet the conditions, but you still get to leave. And in order to actually fight the final boss, there's a certain amount of luck involved, and whether you get certain items to drop, blah blah blah, blah blah blah, tidal wave. It'll probably take more than one trip through anyway. So let's go far enough to get an explanation for how this is going to work. And then I think then we'll call it, and we'll come back and play through some more.
Oh, a coin. That makes 1. I mean, that makes 1. What's with this coin?
It's not gold.
In order to pass into the land of the dead, you must first save up to pay the fee for passage. Hee hee.
But where's that voice coming from? Not like I'm scared or anything.
If you hadn't said that, it wouldn't be obvious you were scared.
Hey, you want to go back?
I don't think we can.
If you wish to return to the land of the living, then it would be wise to gather up coins.
Didn't you just say that the land of the dead is what we need coins for?
Looks like saving up those coins is about all we can do.
That is, unless we want to stay here for the rest of our lives.
Cut out the jokes.
Oh, alright, let's keep going. Obtained fake gold.
We finally filled in the world map. It was practically blank when we left.
Well, you know, we filled it in before we got here,
In the
actually.
castle, I never could have imagined that I'd travel to all the corners of the world someday.
It's such a huge world we live in. Filling in this map really helped me realize that.
Anyone can read about these places in books, but to actually feel the heat or the cold is wow.
Yeah.
Yep.
The only way to learn about this world is to get out there and experience it for yourself.
So stop playing video games, kids, and get
Well, it
outside.
shows you that you can't just rely on books to learn what you need to know.
Books.
Yuri,
Check them
You can learn
out.
a lot from books.
Yeah,
You could learn a lot from it, dummy. Buckle up.
You are just impossible.
I'm not putting out for you, damn it.
You cannot open this due to mysterious force.
Well, what if we fight this guy?
I have been trained by knights. I won't lose. All right, here we go. Yay!
So we defeated some enemies, we got some drops, nothing really all that impressive. We are at the Manor of the Wicked, but it's not really the Manor of the Wicked, it's the Labyrinth of Memories. And now, well, we still can't open this. Well, what if we fight this bear enemy that is here for some reason, even though clearly that is not an enemy type that used to hang out here. And I continue to just spam healing in the hopes of building a spell up, and trust my party members to just slaughter the enemies without my help.
No.
Stell murdering, or Yuri murdering stuff pretty effectively. Let me, yeah, see, let that heal.
Sign of victory.
The sign of victory. The sign of victory.
We got a Yorzo crystal, and that's an exit. We've killed all the enemies. Now the chest will open. And it contains gold. So here's how it works, folks. We will be fighting just weird enemies. Just kind of a hodgepodge of enemies from throughout the game in these rooms. We exited a forest path and popped up spontaneously at the entrance to the Manor of the Wicked. Didn't really make sense, but hey, this is like this weird, otherworldly maze, right? And that's basically how it's going to work. If you get to the warp exit, you can go to the next room, which will be another location for you in the game. There's no new locations that they drew up for this portion of the game. And there's no new enemies for this portion of the game, except I think for the fact that the bosses are Redux bosses with slightly altered stats, which is why you need to fight through this entire place in order to fill your monster book, if that's your thing. Those treasure chests have randomized contents, but there is a chance that you will get fake gold. We have one fake gold. We got it through the plot event. When you fight regular enemies, I don't think fake gold can drop. When you fight the boss Redux enemies, which we'll enter rooms and there will be a boss there, and we have to fight the boss. And when we beat the boss, there is a chance that fake gold will drop, and there is a chance that it will not. And the way this thing actually works is you have to gain a certain number of fake gold, and if you do, you get to fight the final boss of this dungeon, which is, as far as I know, the only completely new enemy. Technically, in the monster book, these bosses are going to be new enemies because they're like the Labyrinth of Memories version of a Giganto monster, the Labyrinth of Memory version of some plot guy you already fought. But the final boss of this area, who is kind of the ultimate post-game, I guess it's the Omega weapon of this game, that's totally different, but we got to get 15 gold to fight it, and since there's a random chance that you'll get it in every single room, you can, I guess, get the fake gold quite quickly if you're lucky, or it can take a long-ass time. And I thought about off-screening through this, but I'm like, what would be the point of off-screening this? This is like the final game dungeon. So we might have some bit of a slog ahead of us here, but, you can always skip through. I'm sure that the title of the video will give away when we actually fight the boss of this place. And I hope you'll join me when that happens. But next time, we're just going to be fighting our way through the post-game Labyrinth of Memories creepy super dungeon. And keep your fingers crossed every time we open a chest that we get fake gold, because the sooner we get it, the sooner we can see the money shot battle with the super final boss. I'm MysteriousJG, and I want to thank you guys for watching, and I hope you'll join me next time for more Tales of Vesperia post-game.